Welcome back to this week's episode of Unapologetically Imperfect. I would like to begin by acknowledging the Darug people, the traditional custodians of the land on which this podcast is filmed and recorded. I pay respects to elders past, present and emerging, and extend that respect to other Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people watching or listening today. I acknowledge that this land is, and always will be, Darug country. Trigger warning. For this episode, I'm going to talk about self-harm and suicide. So please, look after yourself. If it's something you can't deal with, I advise you to skip this episode. And if you have little ears listening, I do suggest that you move them away. Welcome back. My apologies for my absence. I needed a couple of weeks just to regain focus and just take a bit of a break. But I'm back and we're ready to go again. So episode 12. I'm Shell and this is my story through my eyes, through my experience and what I've learned. And I hope there's something in it that you find that helps you as well. So have you ever had one of those days, weeks, months, or even years where you feel everything and everyone is against you? Kind of like this.
This day has been terrible. Terrible day.
Yeah, a horrible day.
A no good. Very bad day.
Oh. Well, you know what I think? I think this day sucks!
And when those times come, how many of these thoughts and questions have crossed your mind? What's the point of trying? Why do I even bother? Does anyone actually care? Why am I here? Would anyone even notice if I disappeared? Why is my best still not good enough? I know I've certainly had these thoughts and questions, and many more that you don't want to know about. And if you've ever listened to any of my previous episodes, you know a bit of my story already. And if you are listening for the first time, welcome and allow me to fill you in. Hi, I'm Shell. I'm 42 years old, I'm an only child, and I come from a broken home, where I was regularly subject to emotional and verbal abuse, mostly from my dad. This podcast isn't designed as to be a "oh woe is me," nor am I begging for sympathy or pity. My heart behind this podcast is to share my story and my own experience in the hopes that it will encourage you, the people watching and listening. So going back to my opening question about having a bad day and the thoughts that can creep in. I've been there on many, many, many occasions. As I mentioned before, I'm an only child, and home life was far from happy, unfortunately. School also wasn't great. I was regularly bullied by other students because of my size, or because I liked school and always tried my best. You know, the whole goody two-shoes thing? That was me. I felt extremely alone and often questioned my worth, my existence, and my importance in this world. At the tender age of 11, not once but twice, I got to the point where I didn't think I could handle it anymore. And I honestly didn't genuinely think anyone would even miss me if I was gone. I had a plan. My primary school was on the Great Western Highway. I had to walk down the footpath of that highway. And my grandparents lived just off it. My auntie passed away just over at the railway station across the road from it. My mum worked at the shops just in front of where I was. And walking home from school, I decided that I was done. I was going to step out onto that highway in front of an oncoming truck. And I don't mean just a little truck, I'm talking a big semi-trailer. Legit thought it was the only way that I could escape. But both times I was stopped by something or someone. So my story didn't end there, obviously. But life continued on. There are a few more good days here and there, but no matter how much I tried to be happy or get over it, as I was often told, I couldn't shake those intense thoughts. On the outside, things appeared pretty good, but the reality is on the inside, I was so lonely and in tremendous turmoil. It was about age 15 by this point, and more the thoughts of why am I here? What's the point? And would anyone seriously care if I wasn't here anymore or not? They crept in and they overtook my whole life. Morbid thoughts, I know, I apologise. But that was my internal battle, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Things were pretty dark, and probably the darkest they've ever been for me. Whilst I didn't verbalise how I was feeling or what I was thinking, I remember going to bed one night and honestly thinking, I really don't care if I don't wake up tomorrow. I'm done. Years of bullying, abuse at home. I was done. I didn't want to do it anymore. I didn't think much about it, obviously, and began drifting off to sleep. But little did I know that that night was going to be a huge turning point in my life. I had a very vivid and real dream. And remember, I hadn't told anyone about what I was thinking and feeling. That night, I dreamt that I was watching my own funeral. Not on TV, but I was right there in the church, watching my own funeral unfold. The church was one I was attending at the time, and I legitimately could see my casket. I could hear everyone talking about my story, my life. I know this sounds really weird, alright, but just hear me out. The room was filled with over 750 people who were all very clearly upset. There were family members, my friends from all stages of my life so far, my youth leaders, Girls Brigade friends and leaders, and even people from Fire Brigade who I hadn't known since I was a kid. But I could genuinely see their faces, like super clearly. And from somewhere within the dream, as clear as you can hear me now, I heard the words, "See, you are valued, you are loved, and you sure as heck would be missed if you weren't here anymore." Whoa. I woke up after that dream. My mind was blown. I remember crying out to God saying, I am so sorry for having those thoughts. And I lay in bed sobbing. No one knew. Beauty of being an only child. You don't have to share a room, so I was able just to let it out. I did end up falling asleep again, but I remember waking up the next day feeling lighter and with a new understanding of what I was actually destined here for. Although it did shake me, it shook me up a lot. And there was no coming back from that dream in the sense of I couldn't go back. I had to go forward. So, here we are, 2026. And obviously life has gotten better. And hey, surprise, look, I'm still here. And while I still have some down days, I'm constantly reminded that I am here for a reason and I can make a difference to others. I've realised that the little that I can give can make a difference. A smile to a stranger passing by. That might be the only smile they see all day. That encouragement, however small or insignificant it might be or seem to me, could make the absolute world to someone else. I have a hoodie at home. I didn't wear it today, but I have a hoodie And it says you matter, just here on the front with a heart. And on the back it says this: Dear person behind me, the world is a better place with you in it. Love from the person in front of you. The world is a better place with you in it. Let that just sink in for a minute. If today you are feeling like you are failing at life, or you're having any of those thoughts that I mentioned in the beginning of this episode, or anything like it, remember, the world is a better place because you are in it. Doesn't matter where you come from, how smart you are, you can make a difference. I'm reminded of the story of the eternity word. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it was about a guy called Arthur Stace, and he was completely illiterate, and he had a piece of chalk. It was all he had in his hand, and he went out into the streets of Sydney and he wrote the word eternity. I'm pretty sure it was the year 2000 that word appeared on the Sydney Harbour Bridge on New Year's Eve. But that word went all over the place. All he had was a piece of chalk, and yet so many people found encouragement in that. So what you have to offer really could make a huge difference in someone else's life. And don't take it for granted. You might go, oh, I'm not that smart, or I'm not, I don't have this, I don't have that. Great. What have you got? What's something little that you can use that can encourage someone else to show them that they matter? The world is a better place with you in it, and you have a role to play. Your presence is a gift. So use your gift and be a blessing to others, encourage others. 2 quotes I have heard of my entire life, and I do keep them close, is what goes around comes around, and treat others the way you want to be treated. What goes around comes around. Fairly simple words. Meaning, what you put out has a way of coming back to you. And treating others the way you want to be treated. If you want to be treated with respect, treat others with respect. If you hope that when you're down, someone would pick you up, help someone who's down. Buy someone a cup of coffee. Sit down and have a chat and actually stop and listen to them. You have something that you can give that's going to help someone else. My dream when I was 15 was so real, but it was the wake-up call I needed. Let me just say, whilst I have had moments now as an adult where I've thrown my hands up in the air and gone, stop the world, I want to get off, that's not because of feeling like I couldn't go on. That was because my borderline personality disorder makes things very, very intense. And at times, the only way I feel I could escape it was just to end it all. It wasn't that I wanted to die like I did when I was younger. It was more a case of, I just need a break. And anyone who suffers a mental illness, I get it. It wasn't that I wanted to die as an adult. It was just, I needed the break. I couldn't see any other way out. Obviously now, I'm sitting here in absolutely stunning weather and location. And through my correct supports, I'm 1,000,000% better than I was. Am I cured? No, never will be. But I'm in a much better place. I know how to deal with things now. Whatever you have, you can encourage. We all have the ability to smile, whether it be an actual smile or just with our eyes. We all have the ability to do something, because the world is a better place with you in it. I need you to hear me. The world is a better place with you in it today. And it's easy for us some days to go, oh man, life's great, not a care in the world, you know, just cruising, just chilling. But the reality is, life can change in an instant. Where I'm sitting at the moment on this riverbank should actually be part of the river. But because we've had some epic floods out here in the past few years, the whole location has changed. Technically, I should be sitting in the middle of the water, but as you can see, I'm not. Things change in an instant. So you might be having a great day, a great week, a great month, or a great year. But it can change like that. And you need to be prepared. What would you want someone to do if you were having a bad day that you could do to help someone now? We are very powerful people, human beings. We don't need weapons of mass destruction to cause damage. Nor do we need great experience or a lot of money or anything like that to help someone else. Like I said, a smile, a g'day as you walk down the street. Maybe you've got a friend that needs a hug. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool that we have those sorts of skills in our hand 24/7, that we could use them to help someone else. Sometimes when people are really down, and speaking from my own experience here, but it's hard when people are really down to hear words of encouragement. It's hard to hear, you are wanted, you are loved, you are enough. But sometimes being shown can break that little instance. Does it have to be perfect? Nope. Does it have to be professional? Nope. Just something. Something little can make a difference to someone who's really struggling. Unfortunately, when you get into that headspace, the ears turn off. The ears genuinely turn off, because all I can hear is the internal dialogue that is so loud. I'm not worthy. I'm not valuable enough. I can't do this. I can't do that. I'm useless. It honestly becomes so overwhelming. It's all you can hear. But being shown something, being shown. I tell my students at school all the time, like, guys, you've got to remember, everyone comes with a story. And everyone's fighting a battle you know nothing about. We all come to school with something each morning. So we need to be kind. It's amazing how many of my stage 3 students resonate with that. They get it. So stage 3 here in Australia is years 5 and 6, so upper primary. But we don't know what someone else is battling. So we might be having a great day, but someone else might not be. Opening a door for someone, giving them a smile, just something that shows them that, hey, you're valuable and you're worthy of my time or my effort. Besides my dream, it was people showing me and showing up for me that got me through those hard times. I didn't realise it as much as a teenager, but I do definitely realise it and recognise it now as an adult. And I'm forever grateful. So, wherever you're at today, the world is a better place with you in it. And each day is just an opportunity to be your best self to date. Especially as we're all on our journey to becoming authentically, unapologetically imperfect. Because it's the best way to be. Until next time, I'll catch you later.